Today, we're lucky to have another Canadian Space Agency astronaut, Jeremy Hansen, who is going to join us via video link from Cold Lake, Alberta. So Jeremy, welcome back to the Ontario Science Centre, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. I hope you can hear me okay.
It's perfect.
Again. That's great. Well, I'm really excited to join everyone for the Beyond Planet Earth.
I'm standing in one of the areas of our newest exhibition, which opens to the public tomorrow, October 3rd. The exhibition is called Beyond Planet Earth, the Future of Space Exploration. And it is a very exciting tour of the universe, if you like.
This exhibition, Beyond Planet Earth, is about what we will do in the next 50 to 100 years. We meaning all of humanity. Canada, of course, is participating actively in the International Space Station. And when it comes time for all of us to leave low Earth orbit, to go to an asteroid, to the moons of Mars, to the surface of Mars, even exploring under the ice caps of Europa, we will all be there. And that's what this exhibition is about, looking to answer perhaps the most important question in all of science: is there life somewhere else? How would we find it? How would we even recognize it if we found it? That's what we invite you to come and see.
So we're here at the Beyond Planet Earth exhibit at the Ontario Science Centre, a new exhibit opening October 3rd, 2012 and going till January 1, 2013. And one of the cool parts, this exhibit is all about space science, human exploration of space.
I would really recommend this exhibition to everybody if they enjoy science and to learn about space. I'm
standing beside a copy of Vostok. This is the first spacecraft that was ever used to send a human into space, and that was Yuri Gagarin, who in April of 1961 was launched by the Soviet Union into orbit. He circled the Earth once. The spacecraft re-entered the atmosphere safely. He popped open a hatch and parachuted safely to the ground. And so he became the first human ever to go into space. It was an astonishing achievement, a brilliant achievement, and it was the beginning of the human age in space.
The exhibit itself has a little bit of a story to tell. It talks about where humans have been in space, starting with in 1957 when the Soviets put the Sputnik satellite in space. It talks about where we are now, which is on Mars in low Earth orbit. It has a full-scale model of the Curiosity rover, which is fantastic. And the big part of this exhibit is the vision on where humans are going next in space. Where are we going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now? We don't know. Will we be on the moon again? Will we be sending humans to Mars? Will we be sending humans to asteroids? All these questions are addressed by this exhibit. It's really an amazing experience to be here.
In October of 1957, the Soviet Union was able to launch the first object ever launched from the surface of the Earth into space, into orbit around the Earth, and that is the Sputnik spacecraft. Here at the beginning of the Beyond Planet Earth exhibition, we have a perfect copy of Sputnik. This is exactly the size that it was. Sputnik was designed as an experiment. It wasn't just a propaganda coup. There was real science and engineering that was being done. Sputnik was launched pressurized with one atmosphere inside and a radio transmitter that gave off a beep every second, and if the Sputnik had lost pressure, the frequency of broadcast would have changed. It did not, which proved to the engineers and scientists who worked on Sputnik that they really could build a spacecraft that would contain air, hold pressure, and so that they could send humans into space. Come and see it at Beyond Planet Earth. Also in Beyond Planet Earth is a helmet, a space helmet, which was used by the Soviets during their engineering tests. It was actually vacuum sealed, and astronauts would train with helmets very much like this one, and this is from the Soviet Union, part of their efforts to develop the hardware so that humans could walk in space and eventually step into the vacuum of space without being harmed.
I really did like this exhibit. It showed me a lot about planet Earth and the solar system. I also like seeing the astronaut. And after hearing what he said, maybe I do want to be an astronaut someday.
The exhibit features a lot of things. It actually features some real things, some real artifacts from different space agencies. We have a moon bag that rocks, actual moon rocks were actually in. And you can actually, what's really cool is you can actually smell what the moon smells like. It actually has its own distinct taste. I won't tell you what it smells like. You come down and check it out. We have real space glove and real space helmet, some things from the past that have been in space, and you can see where we've come from in our early days of space exploration. And then you move through the exhibit and you get to see where we are right now and where we're going. There's a full-scale model of the Curiosity rover. There's a Mars terraforming table, which is a big touch table, and it allows you to actually try and terraform Mars. And it asks the question, should we be terraforming Mars? What parts of, why would we want to do something like that? We have visions on what the new technology would be in space. Like, for instance, this is a lunar elevator that we're looking at. It's a space elevator designed to help you get down to the surface of the moon in a lot cleaner and easier way. You can actually touch a real meteorite. It's called the Knowles meteorite that impacted Earth, and you can actually touch it, which is really amazing, along with a million other things that you can check out here.
You get to learn lots of new things and explore stuff, so it's good for children and people who love space and who want to know more about Mars.
You'll see a model of a space elevator, which is actually a concept that scientists are working on at the moment, which would enable people to get to the moon much more easily than in the past.
In the exhibition Beyond Planet Earth, we show you what humans have accomplished in the past 50 years, but we want to really emphasize what we can accomplish in the next 50 to 100 years. We will show you how astronauts repaired the Hubble Space Telescope, but also where they will go. They will go to Mars, to an asteroid, to the moon, possibly even to one of the large moons of Jupiter, trying to understand, trying to explore, and especially trying to answer the question, is there life somewhere else? That's the theme of this exhibition. We actually finish by pointing out that there are probably 1 trillion planets in our Milky Way galaxy, many of which can be terraformed, which can be made habitable, so that the solar system, as vast as it is, and even though it will take a few centuries rather, to explore, is not the end for humanity, but just the beginning, just the cradle of humanity, and that we will eventually expand outwards to the stars.
I like this exhibition. It's very interesting because we can learn a lot of things, and it's all about the solar system. We can learn about most living things astronauts have found on Mars.
I'm standing now next to a full-scale model of the rover Curiosity, which landed on Mars 2 months ago. And it gives you so much better understanding of all of those amazing high-def pictures that are coming from Mars to actually learn about the rover. Next to it, you can actually explore whether you would like to go to Mars. Are you well suited for that?
Humans can do extraordinary things in space, but robots are just as important. This is a robot standing beside me, a copy of one that was sent to Mars by NASA, and its mission was to discover or to determine whether there has ever been water on Mars. And the answer is yes. There was a huge amount of water in the past. There is no liquid water today, but there are minerals on the surface of Mars that could only have been formed inside water. And very recently we have discovered agglomerated pebbles, that is rocks that are cemented together, that also could only have been generated inside rivers, inside very aqueous regions on Mars. So Mars used to be a very wet and maybe a very live place, and it's bone dry today.
It's pretty interesting, especially Mars. I didn't know that there's actually water on Mars, which is a pretty interesting thing.
And one of the things that was built into the exhibit is an iPhone app. It's an augmented reality app that you can download that allows you to interact with the exhibits on another level. You put your phone in front of the exhibit and it actually gives you a little 3D pop-up that shows you in depth a little bit more about the exhibit you're looking at. So it's really cool.
There's many things here that I didn't know, like the Mars rover. I didn't know that you could actually be a friend of the Mars rover Curiosity on Facebook. It is pretty cool because I could learn things about Mars I didn't know. Also, what's another interesting thing is that I didn't know that Neil Armstrong was the first man to be on the moon. So it's pretty interesting. Very fun.
I found that the science exhibit was really interesting, and now I know a lot of knowledge about space, Mars, and the moon. And I also recently noticed that there might be life on Mars and water, and if there's any life there, then that would be great, and I would surely want to know if there is life or water, because then we know a lot of things about the universe.
Our visitors to the Ontario Science Centre, people of all ages, are fascinated by space exploration. Personally, I've wanted to go into space since I was about 12 years old, when Yuri Gagarin first went up as a Russian cosmonaut. We know that this exhibition is going to give people reasons to think differently, to be more curious, to learn more about space, to consider the question as to whether there is human life elsewhere in the universe.
The exhibition is very interesting because, well, there's a lot of things to see, and I think the people who love science would enjoy this place. It tells a lot about telescopes in space, it tells about Mars a lot, and I'm really interested in it.
There is a wonderful starscape of the Milky Way at the exit to the exhibition, and there it poses questions about whether there is life out there and how we will find it. It talks about the billions of planets that have been discovered in the last 2 decades. So all in all, it's an exhibition for anyone who is curious, and particularly for people who are excited by the idea of journeying into space and discovering.
I would strongly recommend for my friends and family to go to the Science Center, especially the new exhibit, because then you learn a lot of things about space. And for me, I don't really know a lot of things about space except when I came here. So I really recommend people, family, friends, everyone to come to this new science exhibit.
I'll definitely bring my little brother because I think he loves to explore. And I definitely bring my friends here because they love mysteries, and this is a place where you can solve them.
Yeah, I would recommend this exhibition to my friends and parents and other people because it's really nice.
We look forward to welcoming you to the Ontario Science Centre to see this amazing Beyond Planet Earth exhibition. Admission to the exhibition is included with your admission ticket to the Science Centre. There is no additional charge, and the exhibition will be here until the beginning of January. So please come by and be prepared to be amazed.